We are getting closer and closer to the release of The Weeknd's new album, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Gotten a bunch of info over the past week, especially from his Brazil show too, that we're going to go over today. Today is just a voiceover because I'm traveling. Still had to get this out though because it is very important, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. We've been talking about this rollout for The Weeknd's new album, possibly up until we got the new name, titled Afterlife, keeping in theme with After Hours, Dawn FM, and then Afterlife, all in this theme of heartbreak and falling into purgatory and then being reborn again. So this concept of rebirth. While he's still holding on to that, we've now gotten the actual name of the album after, as I said, we talked about the trailers that we've gotten that kind of gave a glimpse into what the album could be like, both sonically and aesthetically. Now we've gotten a little trailer from him though that goes into the reason why this album is going to be called Hurry Up Tomorrow, because he talks about not knowing who he is and that he has to shed this part of himself that reveals his true identity, and that by tomorrow he will know who he is. That's why it's going to be called Hurry Up Tomorrow, again keeping with the theme of rebirth, about revealing a new side of his persona that is not the Weeknd, the drugged out party rock star side that we know from him. We've been knowing he's been wanting to shed for some time now. Now after we have the title, then got the Brazil show on September 6th in Sao Paulo. There he played obviously a couple of old bangers, but also new music. He played some songs off the new album Hurry Up Tomorrow, most notably also bringing out Playboi Carti to, for one, perform Fiend, which was kind of surprising, but also perform a song that the two of them have been working on. So there is going to be a Carti feature apparently on the new record on Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is pretty cool, which is exciting. And there's been some crazy shots over the course of that entire show. It was live streamed on YouTube. It's still up there, so you can go watch that in its entirety. Now, for that Brazil show, he was also the cover for Brazil Billboard, or Billboard Brazil, South America. And for this cover story for them, he obviously also gave an interview. And two key things in there were two parts where, for one, he talks about a key word of this new era, of this new album being rebirth. At least that is what the interview then kind of dissected out of this. That is obviously exactly what we've been talking about with the third installment of the album in the series, with After Hours, Dawn FM, and Rebirth, or Afterlife, or Hurry Up Tomorrow, but the theme of rebirth that we've also been seeing in the trailers that he dropped so far, with young Abel going through all the different phases of his life in that clock tower working that we saw in the third trailer then. Another interesting thing in the interview was mental health, and what was interesting to me was that Abel said that he had a panic attack before this interview, so apparently this is something he's been struggling with, which is not something he's opened up about in the past, so it's definitely interesting for fans. I hope he's doing well. It should probably not interfere with the rollout of this thing though. If probably it'd make it better because he's more focused on the music and wants it to be really good. Part of this being the pressure that he talks about in the interview as well, about topping his album that came before the one that is coming out, and himself being his only competition, and that he always wants to push something sonically, and that he said after the first listen people might not get it, but at some point fans will still figure it out. This wasn't the only news though. So after we got the title, after we've got the Sao Paulo show with a bunch of songs off of the new record being played, we also got the album cover. He released this only 3 days ago, and this right here is the cover. It still goes in the theme, in the concept of it just being a picture of his face, which has been After Hours as well and Dawn FM, all in different styles. This time, it's just a close-up face of him with no, and this is the most important part, with apparently no character being played. On After Hours, we still had the Abel with the sunglasses, the partying Abel, the then falling into heartbreak Abel. On Dawn of Emmett was obviously the older version of the purgatory Abel. Now it just seems like it's just Abel in a black tank top, and I don't know what this could mean. Let me know what y'all think about this. Maybe this is part of the rebirth. Maybe this is part of the process that he's going through. But this is going to be the album cover. Honestly, also seems like one of his most honest, one of his most personal album covers, just because there's no character, no accessories or props in this. It's just him and his face, and he's looking directly into the camera. So apparently this is going to be a pretty personal record, at least from what I can tell by this cover. But as I said, let me know your interpretations of this in the comments. Now, aside from the title, aside from the cover, aside from that interview that he gave, he also confirmed a new single. And this is pretty interesting because this is coming out this Friday, September 13th. This is going to be big. This is probably going to be the tastemaker for what is to come. And this could honestly, really disturb the music industry right now, because this means that the album is pretty close around the corner, and that a couple of people that have been wanting to drop, like an A$AP Rocky, like a Drake, like maybe a Kendrick, need to watch out for what Abel is doing right now and watch his every step, because this is the beginning of the interesting part of the rollout. And what he did was post new single Dancing in the Flames Friday with the cover for the new single, and Dancing in the Flames was actually played at the Sao Paulo show, as well as a couple of people have mentioned. He also posted some clips of that himself, so there's definitely something that he was trying to tease at the Brazil show as well. He also said Friday, so this is September 13th. This Friday, he posted some other stuff as well, like the pre-order link with another picture of him crawling on some sort of road in the rain. Maybe this hints at a music video coming. Now, concerning that pre-save link, apparently people crashed it. So he posted some stuff on his social media about people crashing the site, apparently for the pre-save, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, which is that's pretty crazy. It's pre-save link that then crashes because so many people are trying to access it. So that is definitely something that we can be hyped about. This new single coming out, Dancing in the Flames, which sounds pretty amazing so far from what we can tell. And as I said, this kind of initiates the hot phase of the rollout for Hurry Up Tomorrow, and will definitely disrupt some release schedules, because The Weeknd is not some small caliber artist that you can just kind of be like, oh, well, I'm going to outsell him. He was, up until I think August this year, the most popular artist in the world, based on Grammys, based on accolades, based on monthly listeners, based on tour grossing. This is a heavy hitter in the music industry, and everybody needs to watch out for him. And this is going to be interesting to see how this all rolls out. We don't have a release date yet. We're going to wait until Friday to see what the single brings, and then we're going to be talking about the album again, because right now, honestly, the only thing that's missing, aside from the single obviously, is the track list. So it seems like the album is near. It seems like it could be coming out, honestly, the Friday after the single, September 20th. But we'll talk about that in a future video. Up until then, I want to know what y'all think about this. When do you think Hurry Up Tomorrow is coming? What do you think about the title? What could that mean? What do you think about the cover for this thing? And the new Dancing in the Flames single that is dropping this Friday? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.